Well guys, I accidentally bought a new bike. As some of you know, I've been riding this old Chinese downhill bike. I bought this about 13 years ago. I've nicknamed it Old Chinesium, and it's kind of a piece of crap. But it's got me down some hills, and I've had a lot of fun on it. But now, I've got this. Oh, check this out. Isn't she beautiful? This is my new to me 2020 Transition Patrol. But it does have a couple issues. This bike is sweet. It's an aluminum frame because metal is real, or whatever. It's got 160 millimeters of travel in the rear. But wait, that's a 150 millimeter fork. What the heck? And this thing has been ridden hard and put away dirty. Just check out these grips. Man, well used to say the least. And why does the seat do this? Look at the wear on those cranks. And this guy sure liked lube. Ugh. What the heck? So this is an awesome bike, but it needs a little help. It's got some great components on it that I'm gonna reuse, and some that I'm not. These SRAM guide brakes are some of the favorites that I've used. They're the same ones that I have on my common cell hardtail, and I really like them. But this bike has the upgraded RSC levers, which are more adjustable. So we'll definitely be reusing those brakes. Now this does have a SRAM GX drivetrain, which is pretty good. So we'll definitely be reusing that as long as it functions okay. I do like the bars and stem, so we'll probably be reusing those. But I don't know if I can fix this seat post, so we'll have to see if I can keep that or not. It also looks sketchy when you extend it. Ouch. I'd also like to be able to get it lower in the frame, but this is as deep as it goes. Might need a new seat post, and this fork has to go. It does have nice DT Swiss E1900 wheels with the straight pull hubs, but it is 27.5 front and rear, and I'd love to make it a mullet. So I guess I'm a transition boy now. So I'm gonna freshen this bike up and make it what I really want. So let's get this thing torn down and ready to rebuild, and then we'll go over all the sweet parts I got for it. All right, so there we go, guys. Bare frame, everything's off of it except for this bottom bracket. This E13 bottom bracket looked like it was just a big hex, but I think I need a special tool for it because I think I'm gonna round those off if I try to just put a big wrench on it. The frame is nice and tight. It still moves very freely. I'm gonna leave the headset cups in there because I'm gonna reuse that headset. But that's basically it. That's the bare frame. Except for that bottom bracket, which I gotta get out. Which I'm gonna definitely need to get out because I'm gonna have to re-cable that seat post. This thing feels like hot garbage. Terrible. So anyway, that's everything that came off the bike. And here is everything that's going back on the bike. DT Swiss E1900 front wheel, 29er instead of a 27.5. This is a 220 millimeter rotor and a Magic Mary tire. The bike had Magic Marys on it, so now I'll have a spare rear tire and I'll run this 29er on the front. Fox Factory X2 rear shock. This is a 2022 that was very lightly used. And then I got a brand new 2022 Fox Factory 38 in 170 mil travel. So now the bike will be 160 mil in the rear, 170 mil in the front, and it'll be a mullet. I also got these cool crank arms from China. They're a 5-dev knockoff, but they look more awesomer. I actually think that these aren't so much a knockoff because they're pretty obviously forged, and to make a forging for a copy is probably not going to happen. I think what these guys were they most likely the manufacturer for 5-dev, and then they just kind of stole them and started making them for themselves. So those will be going on the bike. Those are 165 millimeter length. This is a random assortment of caliper spacers. And then the Crank Brothers Stamp 1 Gen 2 pedals. I've got some sintered brake pads for the brakes, a couple of oval chain rings to choose from, different offsets, and a 200 millimeter rear rotor. This is all the stuff that's going back on the bike. So I'm pretty excited to get this thing together. Super excited actually, because I've just been riding my hardtail. Pretty awesome, but it definitely, I could use full suspension. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up and start reassembling it. I am gonna have to get a couple parts, so hopefully they'll be here in a couple days and I can finish up this build. All right guys, so it's been a couple days, but I'm getting back on this bike build. I did start taking this rear triangle apart and noticed that these bearings are, even though the rear triangle felt good, these bearings are shot. They feel like crap, they're rusty, so I'm replacing all of those. I was able to get a full bearing kit directly from Transition Bikes to replace every bearing in this frame. I also got a brand new 1UP V3 150 millimeter dropper post. So this will fit farther in the frame, and it's shimmable so I can adjust the travel when it's all the way up. So let's start getting this bike back together. I'm gonna start by replacing all the bearings in this rear triangle. What I'm gonna use for that is this automotive bearing puller kit, as well as this mountain bike bearing press kit. So let's get started on this rear triangle. All right, well that kind of sucked, but got it. All brand new bearings in the rear end. No old bearings there. Hey, Pickle. That was not super easy, but got it done. So let's get going on the rest of this. I did go ahead and re-cable this derailleur cable through this chainstay because it was easier to do with it off because I could get to it through the hole in the back. So I did that while I had that rear triangle apart. I also ran the cable for the seat post. Brand new headset bearings from Cane Creek. So here it is, guys, all finished up, put together. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Of course, I'm being biased because it's mine and I love it, but I do think it's a pretty sick build, especially for the budget. I've got about 2,500 bucks in this bike total, and for that price, I've gotten some pretty high-end components, as well as some budget ones, but I think they'll still work really well. But I guess that has yet to be seen. So the last thing I need to do is go ride this thing and see how it performs. So my friends and I headed up to Beacon Hill in Spokane, Washington to do some riding and test this thing out. To say this thing performed well is a complete understatement. From the first time I dropped in on this bike, it was so comfortable. Now, I haven't ridden that many high-end bikes, but I do know when a bike feels right when you get on it, and this bike just felt right. My buddy John's boys, Reese and Cruz, have started mountain biking with us, and they've been doing so awesome that I just had to put them in this video. So check these guys out. So you just gotta not go too slow, just go Roll it nice. And there's a bit of a bump at the end, so yeah, you gotta be leaning back a little bit. It's a lot scarier than it actually is. Don't close your eyes. That's the worst thing you could do.
Just pedal into it nice and slow.
Stand up. There you go. There you go.
Lean back.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Nice! Heck yeah! Nicely done.
That's awesome.
Stand up, flat on your pedals. Yep, just roll off of it like it's a normal hill. Don't worry, you're made out of rubber if you crash. It's no big deal.
What?
You're a little kid. You're made out of rubber.
Fine. Splendid. Show your mom how badass you are.
Oh man, your mom's gonna poop her pants. Stand up, get flat pedals, stand up. Yeah, nice.
Alright, Cruz.
That's sick.
You gonna hold the speed? You know how long it took me to do that?
I know, right?
Dude, that is so cool. My kids are badass.
Hell yeah. I'm stoked that they sacked up and did that, dude. That takes some balls.
Yeah.
Nice. Killing it.
I can't believe I actually.
That's awesome, man. You kind of got off to one side on that last one. It was scary. Got keep her in the middle, bud.
My toes.
I can't believe they did it.
That's awesome, dude.
Adrenaline.
Right?
That is a big stepping stone for us.
Hell yeah.
It is. It is. All right, dropping. Now, by this point in the day, it had been fully confirmed to me that I was riding the best bike that I had ever ridden. This thing just performed absolutely perfectly. It was so controllable, so comfortable, and I just felt extremely confident on it. My buddy John even took it for a ride down one of the runs, and he had one of his best runs ever on it as well on his first try. So the bike just performs. Here comes John riding my new bike. Holy shit. This was a super awesome day. We all had a ton of fun. The kids did great and progressed a huge amount. And I literally couldn't be happier with this bike. I think my friends are getting sick of me talking about how much I love it, but I don't care because it's freaking awesome. I'm literally ecstatic with the way it performs, and I think it's a testament to what you can build if you are patient with finding the right deals on parts and start with a really high quality frame like a Transition Patrol. I am most definitely a Transition fanboy now. Look out for me to do individual reviews on all the parts on this bike in future videos. I really, really, really love my bike. Thanks for watching, guys.